Namaste. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. So glad to be in practice together. My beloved teacher once provided such a simple teaching, but it was so profound to me. And it was written in a small book that was given as a gift. And those words were always keep your sword sharp and follow your heart. And at the time of receiving that, I didn't know what it meant exactly. But as I've developed in my yoga practice, that's become more and more clear. So, the inspiration behind this morning's meditation is really that simple. Keeping the sword sharp means the process of growing into viveka, or more specifically, what's known in yoga as viveka khyati, a clear ability to notice the difference between all that I experience and who I am as the truth of the experiencer. And following the heart means stepping into rhythm or the love of the universe, or I would say the philosophical understanding that who I am is never away from all that I experience. That oneness vision. So I'll explain that a little bit more before we get into practice. But remember that specialness of the teaching, the simpleness of keeping our sword sharp, but following our heart. So we'll start that uh, by first chanting Om together, that sacred syllable. We'll take up this mantra as a group, though I'll have our mics on mute. I encourage you to join me. So, wherever you're at, just get comfortable in your seat. Begin to notice your natural breath. Maybe on those exhalations, you feel the shoulders set back a bit. Your base becomes a little bit more stable. And then, when you're ready, I invite you to join me in chanting Om 3 times. Om. 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 Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam aharyam chandratarati tam vande sattvigam shivam yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarut tat pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjalimanatosmi. Yasmin sarvam yada sarvam yas sarvam sarvadriktata sarvabhava padatitam bodhanandam smaramyaham swatmanandam smaramyaham. Om apyayantu mama angani vakpranaschakshushrodram mato balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmaupanishadam maham brahmani rakuryam mama brahmani rakarot anihra astu anihra me astu tadatmani nirateya upanashatsu dharmaha te mahi santu te mahi santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be, peace be, peace be. Hari Om. So, the way that we reflect upon the nature of ourselves is first deeply assimilating the fact that we're all seeking some kind of meta value. The human pursuit or condition is one that through every action we take, we're looking for joy, love, compassion, health. This is what we seek. But one has to come to the recognition that what we're currently doing is seeking in the wrong place, which is the field of our experience or the contents of our experience, meaning that I'm seeking joy or happiness or love outside of myself. I'm seeking it in uh, controlling a certain relationship or maybe getting some material achievement. Relationship and achievements are wonderful. They're an expression of the truth. It's an amazing pursuit. But when one seeks those deep inner core values in the outer experience, we never find it. It seems to elude us. And that leads to sorrow and the buildup of different attachments and aversions and fear, so on and so forth. So we found that the Vedic masters also were making a similar kind of progression in trying to control the universe. But the rishi or the yogi became quiet and contemplative. And they started asking, is there some kind of enduring experience? Is there some kind of lasting truth or home base by which I can rest and reveal that joy, reveal that inner health, inner wealth? And the answer is yes. How is that done? Well, the rishi or the yogi saw a simple fact, actually, the most simple truth that you exist. You're a conscious being. I don't have to prove that to you. You know that. The only thing about it is that that existence or that consciousness, that simple, beautiful truth, is currently mixed up with the field of your experience, most particularly our body, mind, and senses. This beautiful complex and the world that it perceives. But we never come to think about what is the nature of our being or our essence. So, how we're going to keep our sword sharp, this first part of the teaching, is in meditation this morning, we're going to see if we can sort of decouple our true self, that being, from what we see or what's experienced in the field of our awareness. Then, after that, we'll simply dive into our heart. Diving into our heart is recognizing the nature of that being as being non separate from everything else. So, as we get into this, let's first start by just warming up our body a little bit, making our seat comfortable. So, I'm going to start this, and you're welcome to join me. And first, just a few neck exercises, warming up the upper portion of the body. So, I'll take the chin to the chest, tucking in deep, then gently releasing. As the throat opens up, chin lifts, the weight of the head falls back. Taking it nice and slow, finding that stack between the head, neck, and chest, and then again, tucking the chin in. Try that a few times. Back and forth. Then once bringing the head back up, you can also Twist all the way to the right, letting your eyes lead the way, the facial muscles follow suit, all the way to the right. Maybe take a breath or so, then center yourself and initiate that gaze to the left. Then back to center. And working on both sides of the neck, I like to take the right ear to the right shoulder, really opening up this left side, especially that space underneath the ear, stretching down into the shoulder. Back to center, left ear to the left shoulder. Then back to center. Now, loosening up a little bit more of the clavicle region and also building a little bit of tautness in the body, you can take your palms together, bring them at the heart space in Namaskara Mudra, and just press there for a moment. Take a few deep breaths, connecting your hands with your heart, and also just toning up the arms. As you press there too, you're generating a little bit of heat naturally. That heat creates a great form of purification, transformation of our physical energy. Then, as best you can, keep the palms together and see if you can just draw the hands out in front of the body. A few breaths here. Then you can interlace the fingers, make a soft fist, and then bring those hands overhead, adjusting the blood flow. And again, just loosening up this whole shoulder region, breathing into your belly here. Then a big exhale as you release the palms all the way down. Nice. So, since we are at different places in our homes, wherever you're at, it's also useful to work on the lower body, but it's a little difficult to do when we're not in person together. One simple exercise you can do in the chair right now that helps just bring a little bit of heat to the hips and help that space open up is you could just cross your legs in the chair. So lift your feet up off the floor and just bring the right ankle over the left and then point the toes out. So you're just kind of squeezing the legs and hips together. Take a few breaths there. And just lifting the legs up like that creates a little bit of muscular strength and also builds some heat in the lower base of the body, which helps bring our seat to a more comfortable place. And then release that, and then bring the left over the right. Great. Then release. And lastly, before we just remain still, I'll take a spinal twist. I'll simply place my left hand on the right knee, take a big breath in, and reach the right arm over. I grab onto the chair for a little support, keeping the spine tall, and exhale, twisting to the right. A few deep breaths into that compressed space. Inhale on release and switch sides. Big breath in as you reach up to the left, exhaling as you twist. Then you can hold for a few deep breaths. Then inhale as you center yourself. Great. So align yourself, make those final adjustments so that your feet are firmly resting on the floor. You've got a nice maximum base. Palms are soft on the knees or lap. Feeling your body like a stupa, where the head, neck, and chest and base are like the stones, beautifully balanced. And the most important preparation is don't forget to smile. We practice in joy, not for joy. We have this deep trust. That is our nature. So we can relax into it. We don't have to struggle or effort our way through. And when you're ready, ever so gently begin to close your eyes. Let the eyes become wide and soft as they begin to rest in that inner space. Take a moment to observe your body held in this stillness. Though you're capable of moving, you have a certain inner commitment to allowing the body to rest still for a moment, coming alive to the physical stillness as the interplay of sensations arise. So the shape of your body is centered, a gentle lift from the crown without losing your sense of support in your feet or the base of your body. The chest, especially the region around the heart and behind the shoulder blades, is open, feeling your sense of presence on either side of your body. You're aware of your back and also the whole space in front of your body. You'll be amazed to discover a great source of health and nourishment within just in practicing this asana, intentionally aligning the body without any effort on your part. Just this alignment starts to enable the free flow of prana. the life force. You let Ishvara govern your life. That inner intelligence heal you from the inside out, just through asana. So let the body become relaxed and still. As we move to an inner journey first, keeping our sword sharp, one obstacle that can arise is that we feel drawn or our mind feels disturbed or distracted by outer situations. It could be a particular person or an unfulfilled desire, the anxiety of the unknown, some confusion. I invite you to bring that to your awareness and surrender it to Ishvara, which means give yourself permission to let that person be. This is just how they are in your perception. Or let that situation or anxiety or fear, you don't have to suppress it or try to fix it or control it. Just let it be. But feel committed to discovering who you are. Take a moment to let that supreme intelligence known as Ishvara take care of the situation. Trust that things will work out the way they should. You focus on allowing the body to relax and become stable in your asana. The amazing part of this is when you give that person or that situation the permission to be who they are or what it is, you're actually granting yourself freedom. You're clearly declaring that you desire freedom when you give the other freedom. This is a special insight the yogi develops. It's so freeing to allow things to be. So your body is upright, the eyes are resting in the inner space, your hands soft on the knees or lap, and you're experiencing the freedom of surrender. That gives us the space to observe the body more carefully. See if you can shine the light of awareness to notice all the different parts of your body, as if you're bringing a lamp to illumine each part from head to toe and toe to head. You feel the crown, the forehead, eyebrows, the ears, eyes, the nose, the cheeks, lips, the chin and throat, the shoulders, wearing all the way down the arms to the wrist, hands, through the fingers, and back up the arms. You bring the lamp to illumine the chest, the upper and lower abdomen, the hips, down through the legs, the ankles, feet, and toes. And let your attention rise back up, simply observing each part held still. See your body in one sweeping vision. The profundity of this is that the ability to see your body or observe your body proves that your existence is deeper than your physicality. You are something more, though the body is never away from you. This is the rise of discernment, or viveka. I see my body. That means I am something more, a light which can observe the body. If you can make that leap You're almost there. It's a huge shift. The body is my instrument. I am the master, the Swami. This gives you a tremendous freedom to heal your body. Stay with that for a moment. I am I. Body is body. But body is never away from I. It's a beautiful relationship. The more you stay with that, the more the body releases the tension born of fear and uncertainty. You may feel the muscles relaxing as if they're resting down on the bone. And a rise of inner pleasantness. It is our birthright to have the body change from childhood to youth, middle age to old age, from health to sickness, from sickness to health. Let the body be. Let the presence of yourself shine upon the body and be free from worry. Na anushochite marsasi. There's no reason to grieve. As your body becomes more relaxed and stable in your asana, you become more aware of those finer sensations of life. And you'll find that there's a universal force governing all sensation, the prana. Begin to relate with the prana by observing your natural breath. At first, we don't try to control or force the breath, but rather simply bring our kind inner eye to the breath. Prana ikranam. I see my breath. That spontaneous in and out. See if you can highlight where you feel the touch of breath in your body. As we move into the inner landscape, you may feel that some thoughts are disturbing, or maybe you slip into fantasy or get a little sleepy. You simply guide the mind back to noticing this touch of breath in your body. You don't have to fight with your thoughts. They're like paper tigers, totally harmless. So don't give them more life. Focus on your breath. And where you feel that sensation or touch of breath, you can deepen it. Perhaps starting with a full exhalation, beginning to consciously breathe out, letting the space below the breastbone gently pull in, and then breathing in naturally as the belly expands and that breath and touch fill all the nooks and crannies of the body. When you're full of breath, without any pause, you exhale. Breathe out. Give the breath back. And right at the cusp of exhalation, without any strain, you breathe in. Practice a few rounds of pranayama like this. Exhaling and inhaling. As you breathe out, you become an able vessel. As you breathe in, your body is filled with truth. Back and forth. To flow with the breath, to feel that truth as you inhale, and the tingling touch of breath spread to the extremities is possible because you are something more, a great presence by which the breath is seen. You can enhance your ability to sense this prana, this life force in its subtle currents, by also practicing the kumbhakam, pausing between breaths. On your next exhalation, see if you can really trace the feeling of breath at the base of the nostrils as it leaves the body. Tracking that sense of touch there, and when you're Finished exhaling, pause for a moment, holding the breath outside. No strain or effort, a gentle pause. And then following that line back as you breathe in and feel the touch of breath at the base of the nostrils. And as the breath rises up in you, when you feel that sense of expansion, you pause and hold the breath inside. Again, only holding as long as comfortable. You simply release the breath carefully. Stay with that touch and feel the flow at the base of the nostrils. Exhaling slightly away from the edge of the skin, and pause and hold the breath there outside. Then, when you're ready, let your attention be drawn up that line as you breathe in, again pausing when you're full of breath. Try this a few times. Those pauses are a great purifier, allowing us to follow those subtler pranic currents and become aware of our inner luminosity. Do one more round of the kumbhakam, pausing between the breaths. And then, ever so gently, let your breath go back to its spontaneous, natural rhythm. But notice how deep and smooth it is. And let your attention be drawn to the forehead center, that space behind the closed eyes, as the yogis call the chitta akasha, the space of the mind. Watch that space. Different images in the form of color or light may arise in that space, as well as the perception of thoughts. But you are the seer, drashta, ever pure, the light that illumines this space. द्रष्ट्रादृशिमात्रः शुद्धोऽपि प्रत्यय अनुपश्यः. Whatever arises in that space can never touch you. The illuminator, meaning your thoughts can never harm you, soil you. You're free from memory, worry of the future. So cultivate that watching attitude. Let the thoughts come, then let them go. As you do this and stay with that space, you may experience it become bright, a feeling of inner luminosity or pleasantness pervading that forehead region. Stay with that space, letting the breath flow there, natural, effortless, as you listen to the mantra. Om Aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva samratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva samratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva samratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva samratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva smratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva kirtiprishtham gireriva urvapavitra vajaniva smratamasmi dravinagum savarchasam sumedha amrato kshitaha iti trashankurvedanuvacanam. Om aham vrikshasya reriva कीर्तिपृष्ठं गिरेरिव पूर्वपवित्रवाजनीव स्मृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षतः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिपृष्ठं गिरेरिव पूर्वपवित्रवाचनीव स्मृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षतः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिपृष्ठं गिरेरिव पूर्वपवित्रवाजनीव स्मृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिपृष्ठं गिरेरिव पूर्वपवित्रवाजनीव स्मृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम् ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिपृष्ठं गिरेरिव पूर्वपवित्रवाजनीव स्मृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कुर्वेदानुवचनम्. As you watch that space behind the closed eyes, breath spontaneous and deep, the insight comes that I am a presence. Mind becomes aware of you, the light of lights, the Atman. Aham vrikshasya reriva, the tree of life, the very source of the mind, senses, body. Kirti prashtham gireriva, like the high peaks of the mountain. You witness the mind, senses, and body. Urdva pavitra vajaniva smrtamasmi, dravinagum savarchasam. Feel yourself as that brilliance, that light of lights. Untouched by the content of your experience. Sumedha amrito kritaha. Free from birth and death. And the source of peace, Amritam. The very presence by which you can say, Aham, I am. I as I. This is this. But this is never away from I. meaning you are ever free, and your body and world around you are an expression of that I, the Brahman. Feel that in your heart. The very presence observing your mind is the same presence observing my mind, and the very presence by which all sentient beings are alive, and the very presence in which the world shines. That is the Atman, the Self. That is Brahman. That is love. Begin to notice your mind and breath pervaded by this light, showered by this light. Then become aware of your body resting in your asana, also covered by the I experience. And keeping the eyes closed, gently bring the hands to the heart as we dedicate this practice to all creatures. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. And when you're ready, gently begin to open your eyes. The practice is complete.